people, my name is welcome to a new video, and today I'm going to shoot a book haul. I already tried to film this damn book haul for a long time, but hopefully I can get things to work right now. So the first thing I want to haul is the stack of books. This is the entire Song and Ice and Fire books by George R. R. Martin. We have A Game of Thrones, A Clash of Kings, Storm of Sword Part 1 and 2, A Feast for Crows, and A Dance of Dragons. So, Game of Thrones is this big series that I assume everyone knows about because of the TV series and all that stuff, so I won't go much into detail what this series is about. But it's one of my favorite fantasy series, and I'm looking forward to reading them finally in English. I have read the first three in Danish, but I want to read them in English because I have a feeling, since I've been reading much more English than when I read Danish translated works, something goes missing. I don't love it the same way I do when I read things in English, so I decided to get the entire series. There was a bit of a mix-up, so I ended up with these editions, but what can I do? I have them now, and they are tiny. So it's going to be fun, and the font is tiny as well, so wish me luck. The next one I have is a pre-order, and that is A Spear Cuts Through Water by Simon Jimenez. Sorry if I mispronounce anything. And this one is, let's see what this one is about. In a new fantasy epic from an author of The Venison Bird, two warriors shepherd an ancient god across a broken land to end a tyrannical reign of a royal family. And that sounds really interesting. Look at these end pages. They are so stunning. There's nothing there, but it caught my interest, and then when it was about to be released, I decided to pre-order it. I also really love this cover. It's just stunning, so I'm looking forward to reading this at some point. The next one is The Garden of Empire by J.T. Greathouse, and this is the second book in the Hand of the Sun King series. I don't know what it's really called, if it has a series title or something like that. But for some reason, without reading the first book, I bought the second book because look at this. It's so beautiful. But now I have book 2, so I better get started with book 1 very soon. So hopefully I can get to that. The next one I have here is most of the Song of Shattered Sand series. I have book 2 here. There's Blood Upon the Sand, and this is by Bradley Beaulieu. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. I have the 4th book, Beneath the Twisted Trees. The 5th book, When Jackals Stormed the Wall. And the 6th and final book, A Desert Torn Asunder. And then I got the short story of Sand and Melis Maid. So, this series is about a girl named Seda that lives in Sarakai, this big city ruled by 12 kings. These 12 kings had a lot of secrets, and one time an assassin discovered one of those secrets and she paid with her life. The kings hoped that the secret would be buried with her, but they didn't know that this assassin had a daughter. And that is the basic premise of what's going on. There's going a lot of things on in 12 King of Sharkai that I finished not so long ago and really loved. So I decided to buy the entire series because I know I'm going to love it really much. So yeah, what can I do? I love spending money because I'm sad all the time. The next books we have, let's see, is Azincourt by Bernard Cornwell and The Pale Horse Man, also by Bernard Cornwell. This is the second book in the Last Kingdom series. I didn't know that when I bought it. I bought it in a charity shop, so I didn't know this was the second book, but this one is a standalone, and it's basically kind of historical fiction set in England, I believe, or somewhere, I don't know. This one is about an historical event, a battle at Essenford. So that one I'm pretty interested in. It's very used, this book. And the Last Kingdom series I'm also very interested. I like the medieval kind of books as well because they're getting closer to fantasy, but kind of. Because most fantasies is medieval, so I was interested, and I have been interested in this author for a long time. So I decided to buy them. I didn't know this was a book 2 though, so I need to get book 1 at some point. The next one is a classic, and that is The Three Musketeers by Alexandre Dumas. And this one is translated by William Barrow in 1846. And this is about the Three Musketeers, and that's all I know. So yeah, moving on. The next we have is The Insurrection trilogy by Robin Young, with the first book, Insurrection. The second book, Renegade, and the last book, Kingdom. And I will read from behind what this is about. These are days of war. The King of Scotland is dead. The nobles fight over succession, unaware that King Edward of England has plans of his own. For years Edward has nurtured a fierce vision of conquest, inspired by the words of an ancient prophecy that will change the fate of Britain forever. That sounds really, really interesting. Again, it's more historical, I believe. So, but I'm still very, very interested in it. So I decided to buy them. I have also heard good things about the sofa, so looking forward to reading them. The next one is a second chance or third chance offer for me, and that is the First Law trilogy by Joe Abercrombie. I have tried to read the first book in the series, which is The Blade itself, 2 times, but I did read them in Danish, and I DNF'd both times. And I have decided to try one last time, this time in English, and I found this box set for no money at all in a charity shop. And we have The Blade itself, Before They're Hanged, and The Last Argument of Kings. The next one is Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, and this one is our Crate exclusive classic edition. Sadly, this one is not fluffy. When you see the next book, it's much more fluffy. But this is Frankenstein. I suspect that people know what Frankenstein is about. I don't know much about Frankenstein, other than I have heard from others. But when I saw this edition, I couldn't stand it up because I have wanted Frankenstein for a while, but haven't really found an edition that I liked. And then I saw this one and really, really like it. Too bad it's not fluffy. It's really, really hard, so it's going to be interesting when I read it. But yeah. The next one is another Autocrate book, and that is Pride and Prejudice. This one I know nothing about, and as I see, this one is much more fluffier, much more openable, if that is a word. I know nothing about this, and I believe it's an enemy to lovers, but that is all I know. I really, really love this cover, actually. I really, really like it, and I really will read it at some point. I am not quite sure if there's anything fantastical about it, or it's just like a more contemporary. People let me know in the comment. I don't know much about it, and I haven't really researched it because I've not really been interested in it before now, so maybe I should look more into it. The next 3 books we have here is 3 more books. Oh, Jesus. By George R. R. Martin. And we have the first one who got a little hit. Is Windhaven by George R. R. Martin and Lisa Turtle. And I know nothing about this, other than it takes place with some islands and stuff like that. The next one is Dying of Light by George R. R. Martin, and this one is, I believe, a sci-fi standalone. I don't know much about it either, but I thought, why not buy it? And the last one, also by George R. R. Martin, is the Armageddon Rag, which I know even less about. It's a standalone. I don't know if it's historical or it's sci-fi. I don't know anything about it. It just matches the two other books. Like you can see, the spine matches very well, so I decided to buy all three. I bought them in a charity shop. So the next one, it's free, is by the same author, and the first book I have here is the Heaven's Official Blessing by Wu Shang Tong Shu. Sorry if I mispronounced that. I have had one lesson in Chinese, but I'm not that good. And this one I've had interested in because of the what's it called, Grandmaster of Demonic Conversation. This is the same author, I believe. And this one just sounded very interesting. A god fallen, a ghost risen. Born the crown prince of the prosperous kingdom, Shi Lian was renowned for his beauty, strength, and purity. His years of dedicated study and noble deeds allowed him to ascend to godhood. But those who rise may also fall, and fall he does, cast from the heaven and banished to the world below. That sounds very interesting. And I believe he finds someone. He's going on some kind of mission. And it's just sounds interesting. It's also illustrated. I will see if I can find a piece somewhere. Where is it? I want to show it. I don't know, but here's one of them. And then I have volume 2 and 3 of Grandmaster of Demonic Conversation. I can't stop pre-ordering those because the live action series based on this story called The Untamed is one of my favorite live action series ever. And now I know I'm probably going to love this story, so I keep ordering this one. Grandmaster of the Demonic Conversation, you are following Wei Wuxian. Sorry again if I mispronounce anything. As he kind of like a fallen hero, he falls. He was really renowned and looked up to in his youth, and then he falls from grace at some point, and it's so good. So I can't stop pre-ordering this one. I don't know, I believe the fourth one comes out in December, so I'm probably also going to pre-order that one. The next one is Gospel of Loki by Johan M. Harris, and this one is about Loki. And that is all I know. It's much more thinner than I believe it would be first, but we can take the look at what it says on behind. With his notorious reputation for trickery and deception, Loki is a Norse god like no other, demon-born, like he viewed with the deepest suspicion by his fellow gods, who will never accept him as one of their own. And for this, he vows to take his revenge. Sounds interesting. I love it. I really, really love Norse mythology. If you don't know, I'm from Denmark, and Norse mythology is just a big part of my life. I always loved it since I was a little kid. About the Norse gods and all that stuff. I have always been inspired by Norse mythology, and it continued to inspire in my own writing. And reading books about Norse mythology, even retellings and stuff like that, is really bring me joy, especially when things are done well. The next one, the next three I bought on vacation. It's not going so well. The next three I bought on vacation, and the first one is The Blood Trials by N.E. Davenport. And this says, it's all about blood. Blood spilled long ago between Republic of Marine in the armies of the Blood Emperor. Now there is peace in the Republic, where blood magic is banned, but there's also a tricked system, misogyny and racism. Her world is not perfect, but Ikana survives in it until now. Ooh. Sounds interesting. And then I have The Beast Player by Naoko Uehashi. Again, sorry if I mispronounced this. And this says, one girl links Beast with humankind. She has the power to save them both, or destroy them. I've been looking for this one for a while, and when I saw it in a bookstore, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get it. And the last one I have from the bookstore is Black Leopard Red Wolf by Marlon James. And this one is the first book in a trilogy, I believe. The child is dead, there's nothing left now. Trager is a hunter, known in 13 kingdoms as one who has a nose and always works alone. But he breaks this rule when he joins a band of seeking a lost child. His companions are strange and dangerous, from a giant to a witch to a shape-shifting leopard, and each hides their own secrets. I've been been interested in this book since it came out. When did it came out? It's like 2019 it came out. I've been interested in it, and when I saw it in the bookstore, I was like, I'm going to buy it now, because if I don't have it, I'm never going to read it. And I just love this cover. This cover is gorgeous. So I'm really, really looking forward. I have heard that it's brutal, and I just love brutal stories. So I'm so ready to read this at some point. So the first one is A Court of Venom, which is been an e-story and only an e-story book, ebook, and it's been pressed into a book. It's tiny and I love it. And this says, the desert had taken Bertria's mother, her friends, and even her freedom. Using her magic and alchemy, she desperately tries to save the one thing the sand has not stolen, her future. So it's a short story I was found interest in, and I'm looking forward to see what this is. And the last one I bought yesterday in a charity shop, and that is The Young Elite by Mary Lou. I have been interested in this one for a very long time because I have read her two of the first books in the Legend series and really, really love them. And my friends have told me good things about The Young Elites. I don't know much about it other than I believe it's a villain origin story, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. And when I saw this perfect condition hardback in the charity shop, I was like, yeah, I'm going to take it. No question asked. So the last few books I have is all from Owl Crate. I have been subscribed to Owl Crate for the past some months. I don't know how many. Some I have bought outside my subscription, and others I have gotten via my subscription. And the first one I have is The Devs, and this one has an exclusive cover. Beautiful under the dust jacket art. Under the book cover is stunning, and it has this beautiful inside of the dust. The end pages is beautiful, and it's also signed by the author. Let me read to you what this is about. Eulele Island should be a paradise, but as to Eddie Spencer, it's more like a prison. I can't speak more. Forced to tag along to a remote island to a mother's honeymoon, Eddie isn't thrilled about being trapped there for 2 weeks. The island is stunning, with its secluded beaches, and forest full of white flowers, but there's something eerie about the place. And I think this one ties a little bit more into horror, which is not a genre I read much about because I'm a scaredy cat. So I am interested in reading it, and it's a bit out of my comfort zone, but I have no idea if I'm going to like this one. But it's beautiful and it's stunning. And the next one is Violet Made of Thorns by Jenna Chen, and this one is also, I believe, an exclusive cover. It's really, really stunning. It has this on the cover that says, "He's more a beast than a prince. I am more a monster than a girl." And then it has a quote on the back that says, "There is no love stories found upon the throne." And it also has these stunning in pages. This one is more stiff and a little harder to open for my comfort. But it's still really, really beautiful. And then it has the inside dust jacket art is also really, really stunning. And it says, "There is always a price for defying destiny. Violet is a prophet and a liar influencing the royal court with her cleverly phrased and not always true divinations. Honesty is for sours, like the oh who so not charming Prince Cyrus, who plans to strip Violet of her official role once she's crowned at the end of the summer, unless Violet do something about it." And it sounds interesting. I'm looking forward to reading it, actually. It sounds really up my alley, and I like a good palate cleanser for my adult fantasy reading, so that is also why I subscribed to Owlcrate, because I was interested in finding some palette cleansers of young adult fantasy and sci-fi and all that stuff. So this one sounds like a palette cleanser, and I think I'm going to enjoy it. The next one I bought outside my subscription, and that is Blood Scion by Deborah Fillet, and this is stunning. I love the cover in this, and it has sprayed edges. I don't think there is anything. No, that's not anything. And I have a signed booklet. So let's see. "I am a descendant of Shango, the god of heat and fire. I am living inferno. I'm a dead girl walking." And that is what I'm going to read. I pretty much want to keep this one less known what it's about, but I'm very, very interested in it. So on the back here it's also said, "This is what they deserve. They wanted me to be a monster. I will be the worst monster they ever created." And it definitely is a revenge story, and I'm looking forward to reading it. The next one is The Drowned Woods by Emily Lloyd Jones. And this one is, I believe the original cover is black, but this one is just white. It has these stunning in pages. It has this on the cover which says, "The ocean was immortal and patient." And it has this on the back. And then it has this under dust jacket art. In the back here it says, "The girl learned what water could save, alive or take it. It was a lesson she wouldn't forget." The next one is Ballad and Dagger by Daniel Jose Older, and this one is the reverse side of the dust jacket, where they made this cover, and it's stunning. It has the map inside the end pages. It has beautiful quotes on the front and the back, and this is what the original cover looks like. As far as I know about this is that it takes place in Brooklyn, where a group of young people moved there after their island was destroyed by some dark magic or something like that, and then there's something to do with music as well. So I'm looking forward to trying it. I am not much for things taking place in the real world, and most that is taking place in the real world take place in America, and I've only been to America once, and that was actually New York and Brooklyn I have been to. So since this take place in Brooklyn, I might recollect something from there and feel more connected to this one since I've been to Brooklyn before. So we will see. It sounds really interesting, and I'm looking forward to reading it. The next one is Ivory Key by Akshaya Raman. Sorry if I mispronounced that. And this one is also has arm crate. It has this black. It has this on the cover, and this stunning artwork beneath the dust jacket. And this says, "For sibling, a country in ruin, one quest to save them all." Vera is desperate to get out of her mother's shadow and establish her legacy as the revered queen of Ahsoka. But with a country only carry running out of magic, a precious resource that had kept Ahsoka safe from conflict, she can barely protect her citizens from the looming threat of war. And if her enemies discover this, they will stop at nothing to seize the last. And it sounds really interesting. I bought this outside the subscription because it came out before I subscribed to Owlcrate, and I was interested in it. So I decided to buy it, and I love this cover more than the cream one, the original, so I'm looking forward to trying this. And the last book, finally, oh my god, I'm dying, is Together We Burn by Isabel Ibasnes, and this one I honestly don't know much about. This one is also an exclusive cover. It has dragonly scales beneath, and it has this quote, and this one, and then it has this cute artwork beneath the dust jacket, and it sounds really interesting. It says, an ancient city plagued by an ancient city plagued by dragons. 18-year-old Sarah Salvida is talented flamenco dancer and daughter to the most famous dragador in Hispalia. People come for miles to see him fight in the arena, which is one of the days be hers. But disaster strikes during a celebratory show, and in the carnage, Celia's life changes in an instant. It sounds really interesting. It sounds unlike anything I've really read before, and it has this the kind of feel. I'm just looking forward to the dragons. That's all I'm gonna say. I have books surrounding me, and I think they're all going to kill me. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want, you can comment something. What books have you bought recently? Do you also buy too many books? Am I the only one? I do hope not. And you can like this video and subscribe. All of that is free, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.